It is time for the weighing of the bag. 17.3 pounds because of a big camera lens. From these stories, I've learned that the last person to see two historical Everest would-be summiters alive was the first person to climb one of these gullies here in Huntington Ravine. This inspired me to want to see the gully with my own eyes. Oh wow, awesome. A good sign. What is so cool about this big sign is it labels the gullies. Should be pretty easy now that I see this picture. This big sign is right outside of the Harvard Mountaineering Cabin. Or is it now called the Harvard Cabin? The cabin used to be private to the Harvard Mountaineering Club, but it is no longer private. You can look online and make a reservation. It holds up to 18 people. I heard they give preference to ice climbers. I think it also allows some tents. I have a short-term hiking buddy now. What's your name?
Chris.
Chris. And we're just going over that beautiful little waterfall there. But he's an ice climber, which is so cool. So I was going to ask him a couple questions before he passes me at great speed. Whoa. Ravine, crevasse, crack. But I was telling him that back in the day, the Harvard Mountaineering Club only would let into their club like people who had hiked big peaks, like, you know, Himalaya or the Alps, right? Mm-hmm. And they built a cabin up here because it turns out this place is really good practice for even anywhere around the whole world level mountaineering. At least a warm-up, but good stuff. You heard of Mount Everest?
I have.
So, you've heard of Mallory and Irvin?
Yep.
So they're these mountaineers from England. They were trying to be the first ones to climb it, and they died. And so it's been this huge mystery forevermore. Did they make it up to the summit first? Probably not, but it's debatable. So one of the guys in their group was called Odell. Mr. Odell was a geologist, but he was on this team. He was also an alpinist, obviously. So Odell was the last guy to see Mallory and Irvin alive. Mm-hmm. He was on their team. He was at Camp 6, and he had the binoculars maybe, or just his eyes, and he saw them, and then mm-hmm. He doesn't know if they got to the summit or not. Anyway, later he ends up working at Harvard as a professor in the Harvard Mountaineer Club. And so one of these ice gullies is named Odell's Gully. Great. Yeah. That's why I'm going here. I just was so interested in that when I was reading the book. I was like, I got to see it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to let Chris pass me now, make some flat tracks, and have a great day. And maybe I'll see you up there. I'm just going to turn around after I take pictures. Yeah. But yeah, I got a big heavy camera in here. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You go ahead. Yeah.
See up there. You'll probably see me up there.
Oh, I'll take pictures. Which gully? Well, you don't know yet, right?
Pinnacle would be the only thing in right now.
I see. Pinnacle.
I think people climbed it 2 days ago, so it should be in.
Excellent. Thank you. You too. Another blowdown. It's been so hard getting over these things. It must be about halfway between the cabin and my finish point at the ravine basin. Avalanche help station. And those tubes on the left there would probably hold avalanche probes, a skinny stick that you can just poke down to find the person you're saving. Right there is where the other guys crossed. I have more time, but I'm starting to make incredibly slow progress, which often precedes me turning around. It's like a little bit of a step down on an uneven surface, so I might have to sit down there and go there, and it's like all stuff I've done before. It's just that there's a lot of it. This place where I am standing still, getting cold, regrouping, ate a granola bar, deciding to turn around. It's not even a safe place to stand. But it's okay. Okay? We're going to come another day. This waterway will freeze over and be covered by 3 feet of snow, and you could just walk up here. That's what I need. I can do any of these things, but when I have to do over and over, one after other, and I'm getting tired, and it's just gets in my brain like, okay, this is my 10th water step next to ice, next to a hole where my pole's going down. Okay, anyway, let's take some pictures. Well, here I am, made it back to the little bridge, the first bridge, and I'm determined to enjoy the view for a little bit before I head out. It's really hard for me. I've been trying to trust these bridges, but here's a gap missing, and you could actually fall in there and get really hurt, and I need to get out of here. This trail needs more snow before normal humans can go on it. The trail, blow down. If I can. Oh. Sure, why not? Okay, more. Somebody strong must have broke one of those branches, that one, to make a better space. That was great. One obstacle after another. Yay! Back to the good old Pinkham Ravine Trail. And down, let's go down to the valley. The first large bridge. Yay! Beautiful view. Wildcats in the distance. Hello again, Chris.
Hello.
We meet at the bridge.
Yes.
What happened?
Climbed Pinnacle. It was
Wow.
really nice.
But don't you go to Alpine Garden and come down the other way?
You come down Lion's Head, so.
Oh. I'm sad to say I didn't make it. I got as far, there was like some waterways.
Yeah.
And I went through one or two, and then you got to the very where I thought I got to be so close, and I didn't. I was like, I hit the wall.
Yeah. So yeah, it's surprisingly far past like the up part because you get to the base of Huntington and then you have to traverse all the way across the bowl and then like up the rock.
Cool. And so, does it actually open up with a view at the bowl?
You get like a good view of Huntington. Yeah, once you get a little
That's
bit
what
higher, you can turn around. And
That's what I had in mind.
other
So I'll
direction.
come back when the snow is filled in.
Yeah, once it's filled in, it's a lot easier to get up there.
That guy, Chris, what a nice guy. And for me, it's almost as if I were meeting Odell out here, just a person in their element in the alpine area, which I so wish could be me. And I feel akin to this terrain. So reading all those mountain books and coming as far as I can and meeting nice people who are doing it, that might be as far as I get. There's the beautiful trail, of course, with another blowdown. But the beautiful view is you can just keep looking out across the Wildcat, ski trails going down. It's just, I love this time of year. Well, that was fun. Learning experience, and I shall continue to learn.